Shark Bite debuts, Tony Ochs not competing at the World Finals, and Brandon Vinson wins Arena Series Central. All of this and more is coming up on this week's edition of Monster Truck News. Starting off with the results. For full results from Glendale, Arizona, make sure to check out the most recent Monster Talk report. The Stadium Championship Series Red in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Your racing winner would be Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Tom Mentz in Max D would win the Skills Challenge. Freestyle was won by Caleb Blood in Soldier Fortune. And your overall event champion would be Tom Mentz in Max D. Adam Anderson is still 33 points ahead of Camden Murphy as they head into an important weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. Moving on to Des Moines, Iowa for Arena Championship Series West, David Olfert would sweep all three racing competitions. For the Skills Challenge, Earthshakers Tristan England would take home wins at Show 1 and Show 3, while Kristen Anderson would win at Show 2. For the Donut Competition, Bailey Shea in Monster Mutt Dalmatian would win at Show 1, while Kristen Anderson would win at Shows 2 and 3. For Freestyle, Earthshaker would sweep all three shows. Your overall event champions for the weekend would be Tristan England at shows 1 and 3 and David Olfert at show 2. Tristan England has increased his gap to Elvis Linus by 100 points as Linus received a last-minute replacement in the form of Brandon Arthur. A big shout out goes to David Olfert in Velociraptor, who took home his first overall event championship at show 2. Moving over to Arena Championship Series East, they headed to Cincinnati, Ohio for 3 action-packed shows. Your time racing winners would be Bernard Light for show 1, Dalton Widener at show 2, and Armando Castro at show 3. For the Skills Challenge, Dalton Widener would take home wins at shows 1 and 2, while Armando Castro took home the win at show 3. For Freestyle, Weston Anderson would win at show 1, Bernard Light won at show 2, and Armando Castro won at show 3. Your overall event champions would be Weston Anderson at show 1, Dalton Widener at show 2, and Armando Castro at show 3. Despite Armando Castro winning all competitions and the overall event championship at show 3, he is still a staggering 229 points behind Weston Anderson as the tour starts to close out. And finally, Championship Weekend for Arena Championship Series Central headed to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Your racing winners would be Cody Saucier for show 1, John Zimmer at show 2, and Zach Garner at show 3. For the Skills Challenge, John Zimmer Jr. would win at show 1, while Brandon Vinson would win at shows 2 and 3. For the Donut Competition, John Zimmer Jr. would win at shows 1 and 3, while Jamie Sullivan would win at show 2. For Freestyle, they were dominated by the Brandons. Gravediggers Brandon Vinson won at the first 2 shows, while Just Get It Done's Brandon Talachka won at show 3. All 3 overall event championships were won by John Zimmer Jr. And despite his hard charge at the end, it was not enough to take the championship series away from Brandon Vinson, who is now your 2023 Arena Series Central points champion. Moving over to the independent results to the Renegade Monster Truck Tour in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Show 1 saw Toxic win 2-wheel skills in racing and Illuminator win freestyle. For show 2, Toxic would win 2-wheel skills in freestyle again, however this time Stinger would win racing. For the Malicious Monster Truck Tour in Hanford, California, Rockstar swept the entire show. For the All-Star Monster Truck Tour in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, show 1 saw Crazy Train win 2-wheel skills and Ice Cream Man win racing, freestyle, and the overall. For show 2, Crazy Train would win 2-wheel skills in the overall, Ice Cream Man would win racing, and Playing Crazy would win freestyle. And finally, for the 2 Extreme Monster Truck Series in Eldon, Missouri, Bounty Hunter would win 2-wheel skills and the all-new Shark Bite Monster Truck would win racing and freestyle. Moving on to our first news story of tonight, the very first competitor for the main field of the Monster Jam World Finals has been announced, and that is your 2023 Arena Series Central Points Champion, Brandon Vinson. Vinson has had a hard-fought battle all season long, defending from Zimmer Jr. mainly, but many others. This is his 5th Arena Series Points Championship, and is so far the only driver in Monster Jam to go back-to-back with Series Championships, starting in 2018 when he made his debut, and winning every single year, minus 2021, which did not hold an Arena Series Championship. He has led this series since week 1, and Vinson has never looked back since. The reigning World Finals racing champion will have to defend his title, this time in Nashville, Tennessee, and will carry an immense amount of pressure on his back. With this, many more drivers are expected to be announced to be part of the show. However, there may also be the possibility of Monster Jam crowning more points champions as the tours start to wind down. Over the weekend, a plethora of new trucks and schemes debuted. For the fans, including myself, who wanted to see the new Big Kahuna truck, were kinda let down, as the truck would not be ready to debut. Instead, they would be replaced by Alan Pizzo in Predator. Nitro Hornet is back in action and will presumably replace Tantrum as part of Dylan Fenley's team. The Holmans were incredibly busy as they debuted both a new Chevrolet body for Amped Up and the debut of the all-new Godzilla monster truck. Man, what a beauty this thing is. Obsessed has finally debuted its long-awaited CRD chassis, and we gotta say that this thing looks pretty flippin' good as well. Triple B Motorsports revealed their new scheme that they've been cooking up, and that would be none other than Barely Tame. The truck goes for an updated take on what the iconic scheme looked before, and we gotta say that Barely Tame has never looked better. In addition to that, while not really an update to the truck's body, but Ice Cream Man is now rocking some new colors on the truck with these beautiful white rims, falling bars, and shocks. However, I think my favorite debut from the whole entire weekend is the new truck from the 2 Extreme camp, that being Shark Bite. Like Mike Harper's Shark Attack, the truck uses a similar mold to that of Megalodon, running on Jekyll and Hyde and utilizing its neon yellow beadlocks that really makes the truck stand out. We have to say that this truck looks absolutely phenomenal, and we cannot wait to see more of it out on the track. Monster Jam's International Tour is back this weekend. However, the talk around the International Tour, in my eyes, isn't surrounding the South African Tour, and more so something that fans have noticed on the Monster Jam website. With the conclusion of points-earning events, that means that Cody Saucier and Tony Ochs aren't tied down to a specific tour that they have to compete at every week. With this, Cody Saucier will be driving El Toro Loco for all of the remaining Stadium Series Blue shows, and Tony Ochs seemed to presumably be driving Earthshaker for the International Tour. Past the South African Tour, we haven't really been sure as to what he would be doing. That is, until now. In addition to his time on the South African Tour, as we just mentioned, Ochs will be driving Earthshaker in Dresden, Germany, and potentially Frankfurt as well. This comes as a surprise to many who might have been expecting Ochs to be alongside Stevens, who will presumably make it into the finals behind the wheel of Thunderosaurus. Regardless, Ochs will be able to show his talent this upcoming weekend behind the wheel of Earthshaker in Cape Town for the beginning of the South African Tour. Now it's time for my favorite segment, the Monster Truck 5 of the Week. This is where we get to showcase all of the fantastic shows and tours that are touring the globe. Stadium Series Blue is back, and they will be making their final Not For Points Arena show this weekend at Reno, Nevada at the Reno Sparks Event Center, while Stadium Series Red will be heading to the much anticipated Atlanta Motor Speedway event at Atlanta, Georgia. Arena Championship Series East is stopping by First Ontario Center in Hamilton, Ontario. Arena Championship Series West is in Austin, Texas in the Moody Center for a non-points earning event. and Columbia, South Carolina at the Colonial Life Arena is the next stop for Arena Championship Series Central as they start to close out the tour with non-points earning events. The international tour for Monster Jam is returning as they begin the South African tour this week in Cape Town, South Africa in DHL Stadium, as Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Alive is off to Tallahassee, Florida in the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. The toughest Monster Truck tour will be heading to Grand Forks, North Dakota and will feature Dirt Crew with Jerry Beck, Dozer with Jack Brown, Maximus with Darren Basil, Tailgater with Tim Jones, Rat Attack with Jacob Ludwig, and Monster Patrol with Casey Crumschroeder. The All-Star Monster Truck tour will be heading to Shelby, North Carolina and will feature Playing Crazy with Montana Robbins, Crazy Train with Triton Robbins, Sinister with Josh Eckel, Whole Shot with James Owens, and Ice Cream Man with Joe Uri. The Monster Truck Insanity Tour will be in Puyallup, Washington, and will feature Obsessed with Eric Swanson, Wildcard with Dawson Rice, Hillbilly with Tim Manchester, Geronimo with Brandon Swick, Maniac with Dave Smith, Warhead with Mike Menta, and Airborne Ranger with Joe Cypher. Monster Truck Challenge Live will be in Lewisburg, West Virginia, and will feature Bad News Travels Fast with Brandon Dero, Bad Habit with Joe Sylvester, Awesome Kong with David Rife, Amped Up with Ryan Holman, and Godzilla with Josh Holman. And finally, the 2 Extreme Monster Truck Series will be in Madison, Indiana, and will feature Bounty Hunter with Jimmy Cretin, Scarlet Bandit with Dawn Cretin, Shark Bite with Rob Poutre, and Brutal with Michael Brister. And well, that is all we have for you today. Thank you everyone all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with some more Monster Truck content.